This video will be dedicated for new players or players who are actually starting over, and it is very important that you do the warehouse before level 32, and we will get to talk about this and why it is important that you actually do that before you hit level 32. But I have prepared a few tips and tricks for you to understand before you even start with this, okay? It's important for you to know that you can clear the North Wing before you hit 32. You have to clear it before 32 because once you hit 32, another tier of monsters unlocks, and then they become a lot harder to kill, and you will need a different heavy set of gear for you to be able to tank the monsters without spending a lot of resources. And to start with, when you do the gas station, you have to do a quest initially for Klim. You have to go to the old gas station and do a quest and collect a storyline item, and then you will meet the Watchman. The Watchman will give you a weapon, or will give you a box once you are actually fulfilling the requests that he asks you for, whether it's like tinned canned food or it could be tobacco or something, but the item is available on the map once you get the quest. And next to him, once you open, he will tell you to go to a chest, like a treasure chest. You can get the Strider armor. It's like the Strider jacket from there, which is really helpful for you to do into the warehouse. And it's worth noting that you cannot do the warehouse South Wing before level 52 because of the pickaxe, unless you get very lucky and you get to level 32, for example, and over, like above 32, and then you can get like the axe. It's a big axe you get from one of the chests maybe, or you can get it, you can buy it with money, because I think you are able to spend money and then get the item, but it's not worth doing that, okay? And also, now there are the wall stashes. The wall stashes are the ones that have hidden good items behind them. You will need a full-on sledgehammer to be able to destroy and claim the stash. And I think for the sledgehammer you need to be level 12 minimum, and it's not very difficult to craft, but it's also not very easy at your level, because you would much rather save these resources for someone else, like for something else, like to build and develop your base or your workbench and stuff like that. And it's crucial, you cannot do the warehouse without carrying torches, acid weapons, which you can get from the Undertaker's camp, and you will need good armors and weapons as well as healing items, and these are all actually available for you at the early game. When you are killing monsters like the Carnifex, the Stinger, and sometimes the Claws, and others, the Armored Ghoul or whatever the name is, you need to avoid the tentacles that spawn because they will cause you heavy wounds. And also, heavy wounds can be inflicted by monsters like the I don't think Taggers do it, but who does it is the Claws and the other elite monsters, Carnifex, and who else? Of course, it will be caused by Leechers maybe, and it could be caused by the Stomper. So these are very important for you to watch out because they stack. This stacks up to 5 times, and it will make your HP decrease very heavily. And we will talk about this, why it's important that you carry Hemostop if you can, because it's available in the warehouse once you open the warehouse, but I did not use them, which is why it's a mistake on my part, and I will tell you as we go through with the tutorial why it is a big mistake on my part. You will see how much regeneration items I've used, and anyway, excuse me, always check for the buffs or the debuffs that the monster has before you attack it, and always attack one monster at a time. It is important that you check the buffs and the debuffs because you will know whether, oh, this monster really can tank my Uzi, for example. Like, you cannot kill it easily with Uzi. You will only do, for example, 40% of the damage or 50% of the damage. You cannot do 100%. And it's important that you understand that, okay, what am I going to use against it? You will see a broken icon, which is usually in yellow. It could tell you it's weak against acid, or it's weak against flames, or it's weak against whatever. And if it's not weak against anything, if you use something with a debuff, it will work a lot better than a normal weapon would. Okay? like I said, watch out for deep wounds. The deep wounds effect, it will stack and would do massive damage for you over time. Hemostop is really expensive to get from the traders, but you will get some early game from the warehouse box before you even enter, before you even break the door. So you'll get some of those so you can keep them on you, but only use them when necessary because they are really expensive. Okay, and it's also worth noting that torches last a lot longer at lower levels, and they are a lot more effective against monsters at that level, like taggers or claws or carnifex. They're really useful against them. Once you hit the monster, just walk away, let them burn on fire, or you can just hit them twice, 3 times, let the damage stack, and then move away. And they don't last long. The monsters have low HP compared to when they are higher level. And remember to always just lure one monster at a time. And after the new updates, now with or without Bloody Hole, the taggers will now spawn at random intervals, with or without the Bloody Holes. I think this happens when a lot of people just leave the warehouse to readjust themselves and put bandages on or heal up or escape a big horde of monsters. But now they attack you from different places with or without Bloody Holes. And when you are in the North Wing, you will have to always look for the Leechers and the Armored Claws because they come in hordes. Like the Armored Claws are really difficult to kill. Luckily, I didn't get them yet, but it's also unfortunate because you could get like chipped shells from them, which you can trade them for an amazing chest that you can get a lot of artifacts from. Leechers, you can just kill them. It's very important you carry weapons, throwing knives. Not knives, sorry. Like you would have to carry, throwing weapons with you. Not the stone, but just the, what is it? Throwing blade or something? Or rusty blade? You can just figure it out. You just need metal to actually craft them. So this is very important that you do that. And then after you are done, after you kill everyone, only loot the items after you cleared the map. And it is important that you do that because you don't want Carnifex or more monsters to spawn while you are at it. Unless you actually need it necessarily, like if you are starving or if you're really thirsty and you have this kind of buff on your head, like the red screen flashing and flickering, and it's not really nice. So you just want to have an easy time with that. 16 hours of cooldown is enough for you to make different trips to your base and refill your inventory and come back. So don't worry, just relax about this, take your time, take a break maybe, go have lunch and then come back, let the energy regenerate, and then go back to the warehouse, collect all the rest of the items, and then go back to your base. And then you're done for the day, come back next day, and etc. Remember to save all the bloody tears that you get, and only trade them after you hit level 32. Because when you hit level 32, you unlock a new tier of weapons and armor and materials, which will prepare you a lot better for your next adventure. Like, don't trade them below 32 because the loot in the box is actually determined before you, when you buy them, before you hit 32. Like, if you buy them at 31 and then you hit 32, you still get items that are from below 32. You will not get them after 32. You will not get the new tier items. You'll get the old tier items. So make sure you save the bloody tiers and only trade them after you reach level 32, which is really, really important. So now we're gonna get into the video, and I actually didn't click record at the first stage without opening the doors and stuff. So I apologize for that. So, but you gotta remember, these are only zombies. The first few zombies that you kill on the outside, and then the adventure started again when I started opening the doors. So I apologize for that, and I hope that you learned something from this video and enjoy.